Hello, Catholic Life. My name is Katie, and I am a sophomore here at UD. I'm an early childhood education major, and I am a Catholic Life peer minister for first year fellowship. And that's a little bit about me. I have the pleasure of getting to make this Lenten reflection for you guys for March 14th. Fun fact, my birthday is, today's March, April, May, June? Exactly 4 months away? Is that how that works? March to April to May to June, 3 months away. This is why I'm an early ed major and not a math major. And anyways, I, throughout Lent so far have really been reflecting on the themes of sacrifice and temptation. And yeah, so we're gonna get into it. Those are deep, but I'm so ready to reflect with you guys. So I will start by saying I gave up Instagram for Lent, and I am always scrolling on Instagram. Like, I don't have TikTok, so I became a major Instagram Reels girly, and I realized that it was getting to a point where I would stay up an hour extra late and scroll. I would do that instead of like praying before I go to bed, or it was just major distraction of like what qualities I really wanted to have in my life, things like that. And it was like I wanted to be scrolling instead of like actively interacting with my peers and fellow students, and I kind of realized how big of a distraction it was becoming in my life. So I deleted it completely off my phone, and it has been such a blessing, let me tell you. It was really, really hard at first. I got like 2 days in, and I was like on the app store ready to like re-download Instagram, and I was like, what are we doing here, Katie? So I like would find myself like opening my phone and like going to like Snapchat, and then going to my photos app, and then going to Pinterest, and being like, I don't have anything to do on my phone because Instagram was my main app. And so I was going on my phone, and just there was nothing for me to do there, and it was so freeing and relaxing. And eventually I kind of just got to a point where I was able to like set my phone aside and realize that like, hey, let's live in the moment here and be present and be part of the CUD community and part of the faith community here, instead of living my life on social media. And so I kind of really started thinking about this idea of temptation, especially seeing how hard it was for me to get into a consistent acceptance of not having Instagram, and like hearing other people's stories of like what they gave up for Lent and like how their journey is going and how it has been affecting them, and kind of seeing how difficult it really is to give up these things that we think we love, you know, and maybe part of us does, but being able to realize that we love the Lord so much more, and that has been I don't know, it's been a really cool way for me to get to know the Lord's heart better, and like giving up this thing that was a huge part of my life and seeing the temptation there, and like that's what Jesus was feeling in the desert, but a million times more. And just realizing that this little sacrifice is going to bring me so much more good to my life and bring me so much closer to Jesus than I ever could have imagined. And that my little tiny sacrifice is just an inch of what he gave when he died on the cross for us. And just thinking of it in that way and realizing how much more intentional I can be about how I'm living my life. And with that, I encourage all of you as we go into spring break to stick with your Lenten promises, because it's really hard sometimes when we have a change of setting. We go back home. We don't have the present faith community that we always have here on campus. You have different people around you. There's so much changing in just one little week. But the one thing that doesn't change is God and his love for you, and he'll never stop being there for you. So that is so consistent, and I encourage you all to think about that as we move into spring break. I was recently reading the Gospel of John, and we got to chapter 15, the vine and the branches, and I was really just reflecting on this metaphor of Jesus being like the vine and we're the branches, and we have to be connected to that vine in order to have this fruitfulness, in order to bear fruit. Something that really stuck out to me was like this idea of like pruning the branches, and like cutting away those like those darkened spots, those dead spots, in order to bring about more life. And that's kind of what I was thinking about with Lenten promises, and cutting these certain aspects out of our life in order to bear more fruit, and to have that opportunity to grow closer with the Lord, and to have all these new possibilities come into our lives. And so yeah, I really have just been thinking about sacrifice and temptation, and how I can try to actively live my life in the present of each day, and not be distracted by these other things in my life, but to go to the Lord. And so I encourage you guys to reflect on maybe the Lenten promise you made, and how you can see new fruit growing because of pruning, and how there are so many blessings that God is giving you in your life. And even though this temptation is hard, and I encourage you, even if you did give up Instagram and you've gone on Instagram already during Lent, or if you've fallen and that's been something you've been struggling with, to stick with what you gave up, I encourage you to keep trying and keep going, because having that dedication and commitment is really a sign of your love for God. So continue to try, and like, it's okay to fall. Jesus fell while carrying the cross, and that's like, it's okay. And just remember, you guys are all so loved, and have a wonderful spring break, and I will continue to be praying for all of you during this Lenten season. Thanks for spending this time with me. Bye.